Awesome. Good. Good.
He's sitting, he's standing, and he's on his elbows. Chris Vultaggio's working the room shooting a commercial for a yoga studio and its products.
Really nice, but good job.
The life and career Vultaggio has crafted for himself as a professional photographer actually started with something he realized when he was an undergrad in print journalism.
It was a little bit easier to crank out a single picture than to write 2,000 words to get paid the same amount of money.
You're good. If you got more, go ahead.
He started like many other photographers do.
At that time, I was freelancing for studios. I'd worked freelancing for local papers. I had done work shooting graduations and proms and weddings, and it was pretty miserable.
Then Vultaggio spent 7 years working as a corporate photographer.
I quit the day that I vested, and I discovered I really didn't want to be working for a company anymore and really work more towards developing my own business and my own presence, and it was the best professional decision I've ever made.
He took out a loan of under $100,000 and got started. Working for himself has given him the ticket to photograph those in power, those on the entertainment stage, and those on the golf course.
I've worked with people like George Bush Sr. and his wife, Jerry Seinfeld. I've worked with Maroon 5, Matchbox 20.
Vultaggio also built a client base of Fortune 500 companies on his own and with the help of agents.
Coca-Cola, Time Warner, Sony.
But his travels and assignments have come at a price.
I've been escorted by gunpoint with a smile underneath aircraft in the middle of Africa. It's a lot of working in advance with talent, stylists, set designers, models, booking flights, booking hotels, arranging for rental gear, and that sort of thing, even weeks, months before the shoot actually happens. Add that on to the super early flights, the delays, spending holidays and birthdays in airports and time away from your family. It can be a pretty rough life at times.
Then there's the financial cost, which on average can run about $20,000 to $30,000 a month.
There's a great expense that comes with doing shoots like this, and it's all the behind the scenes stuff. So it's hiring the right talent, hiring the right crews, understanding what it's going to take to get permits for location shoots, getting the right equipment, replacing that equipment when you break it.
Vultaggio says 50% of his expenses are travel related. 10% is spent on new equipment, 10% goes toward repairs, and the rest goes towards subcontracting. Still, he says he made a profit immediately. And aspiring entrepreneurs, he urges you not to sell yourself short.
They don't know how to value their work, and they don't realize that, okay, I'm just gonna give the client this, 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 and this for free because they feel that it's what they should be doing to gain the client's business, but what they're really doing is kind of shooting themselves in the foot by working way too many long hours, stressing themselves out, and then at that point you only almost come to resent the business that you do have.
He's also found a way to keep the creative juices flowing and alive. It's something he's even worked into his business plan, a travel budget for himself.
One thing that I like to do for my business that I think has become really important for me that I don't think enough businesses do is to kind of invest in my own development.
So, once a month, he'll give himself the freedom of expense and time.
I'll travel up to a week a month for my own purposes.
It could be going climbing or traveling to a remote place, but he makes sure he builds in time for himself. Still, Vultaggio always comes back to his native Long Island.
I grew up here, born and raised. I have family roots here, and it's a great creative environment and a really good gateway to the industry of New York City, which is the gateway to the world.
Some stationery.